Right. Let's talk about what's happening with Greenland, because this situation has gone from bizarre to genuinely alarming in the past 48 hours. Fresh off capturing Venezuela's president, Trump's now making it crystal clear he wants Greenland, and the White House just confirmed military force is on the table. But here's what's fascinating. Depending on which news channel you're watching, you're getting three completely different versions of the same story. Let's break down exactly how Fox News, CNN, and CNBC are spinning this crisis. Fox News, the strategic necessity. First up, Fox News, and they're framing this as pure national security common sense. Their headline says it all. Trump warns we need Greenland for national security. The coverage emphasizes Trump's argument that Greenland is covered with Russian and Chinese ships and that Denmark simply can't defend it properly. Fox is giving heavy airtime to Stephen Miller, who's arguing that the United States deserves Greenland because, quote, the United States is the power of NATO. They're also highlighting Republican support. Senator Lindsey Graham told Fox he wants a bigger U.S. presence in Greenland to combat Russian and Chinese Arctic influence, though even he admits Greenland's a different deal from Venezuela. But here's where Fox really leans in. They're downplaying international backlash. When Denmark's prime minister warned that a U.S. attack on Greenland would end NATO, Fox buried that comment deep in their articles. Instead, they're platforming Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry, Trump's special envoy to Greenland, who dismisses concerns about violating international law by asking, when has the United States engaged in imperialism? The Fox narrative, this is strategic genius. Greenland matters, Denmark can't protect it, America should. Now, flip to CNN, and you're watching a completely different movie. CNN's lead angle, Trump's Venezuela raid, plunges Greenland into uncertainty. They're immediately connecting the Maduro raid to Greenland, framing Trump as an expansionist president whose rhetorical threats just became terrifyingly real. CNN is giving prominent coverage to European alarm. Danish Prime Minister Fredriksen's warning about NATO's demise, that's front and center. They're quoting her directly. If the U.S. chooses to attack another NATO country militarily, everything stops. CNN is also highlighting that 7 major European leaders issued a joint statement saying Greenland belongs to its people. But here's what CNN emphasizes that Fox barely mentions. Polls. They're reporting that Americans oppose taking Greenland by huge margins, 55% to 28% in one poll, 73% to 27% in another. They're pointing out that 75% of Americans think Trump isn't focused enough on lowering costs, and foreign policy isn't even a priority for most voters. CNN is also questioning Trump's real motives. While Trump says it's about national security, CNN notes that his former national security advisor told Fox it's actually about critical minerals and natural resources. They're highlighting Greenland's rare earth deposits, the stuff needed for phones, batteries, and defense tech, and suggesting this is more about economics than security. The CNN take, this is dangerous imperialism that threatens NATO, violates international law, and nobody in America actually wants it, except Trump. Then there's CNBC, and their coverage reads like a business analyst trying to make sense of a chaotic client. CNBC's framing is straightforward. Trump weighs using U.S. military to acquire Greenland. They're reporting the facts. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt confirmed military action is always an option, but they're also immediately flagging the complications. They're the only outlet really digging into Greenland's economy. CNBC reports Denmark's central bank just warned Greenland faces major challenges, with its population expected to shrink 20% by 2050. They note the irony. Trump wants an island that's economically struggling and hemorrhaging residents. CNBC's also highlighting the geopolitical mess. Democratic Senator Ruben Gallego is introducing a resolution to block Trump from invading. Senator Chris Murphy, a Democrat, pointed out that NATO's Article 5 would require allies to defend Greenland against the U.S., something Article 5 did not anticipate. But CNBC doesn't completely dismiss Trump's argument either. They're reporting that Secretary of State Marco Rubio told lawmakers the administration wants to buy Greenland, not invade it, which adds another layer of confusion. They're also noting that Greenland does have strategic value. It guards the GIUK gap, where NATO monitors Russian naval movements, and it sits on untapped rare earth minerals China currently dominates. The CNBC angle? This is messy, complicated, probably won't work, but Greenland does matter strategically, just maybe not enough to blow up NATO over it. So what's actually happening here? 3 outlets, 3 completely different stories. Fox News wants you focused on threats, Russia, China, weakness. They're positioning Trump as the strong leader making tough calls while dismissive Europeans whine. They're barely mentioning that Greenlanders don't want this, or that polls show Americans don't either. CNN wants you outraged at imperial overreach. They're connecting dots. Venezuela today, Greenland tomorrow, who's next? They're amplifying European fury, polling data showing American opposition, and questioning whether Trump's real goal is minerals, not security. They're treating this as a dangerous break from 80 years of international order. CNBC's trying to stay neutral, but can't hide their skepticism. They're reporting the chaos, conflicting signals from the White House, Denmark's economic warnings, NATO's impossible position, and letting you draw your own conclusions. Their subtext? This is probably unworkable, but at least there are strategic reasons behind the madness. The reality? Greenland's 57,000 people didn't ask for any of this. Denmark's scrambling, NATO's terrified, and depending on which channel you watch, you'll either think Trump's a strategic genius or an out-of-control authoritarian. The story's the same. The coverage? Completely different. If you would like to watch more videos like this on groundbreaking news covered by 3 stations and their bias, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.